Hey everybody. So I took my daughter to go see the My Hero Academia Your Next movie, and I went into it with limited expectations because My Hero isn't necessarily geared to people my age, but I do actually enjoy it overall. The thing that I will say that I really enjoyed about this movie versus a lot of other movies, especially take the Dragon Ball franchise, for instance. Not only do you know that at the end of it they're going to win just because, it's kind of sucked to have specifically like an anime superhero esque type show where the good guy doesn't win in the end. But in things like Dragon Ball and a lot of other shows, it's always the main character that gets the win. And they'll always sometimes, they'll have a little bit of shine from the side characters, but ultimately the main character steals the show. I mean, how many times do you watch a Dragon Ball movie and Goku, against all odds, gets the victory? And I know with the newest one, they gave Gohan time to shine, but that's because Goku wasn't even there. However, in the My Hero movie, I don't feel like that was the case. While, yes, Deku is the main hero, he's got multiple quirks now, he's super powerful and badass. They gave Tokuyami, and Bakugo a real time to shine. Without giving any spoilers or going really too in depth with exactly what happens, in this movie, a character called Dark Might shows up, and he looks and sounds just like All Might, and he believes, that time when All Might fought All for One. Yeah, All for One, and he just was like, it's your time now. This guy took it as All Might was talking to him, not Deku, but we all know he was talking to Deku. So he wants to be the new symbol of peace, and the way he kind of goes about it is sort of the way the Empire in Star Wars works. It's peace through control. So he is definitely a bad guy. Well, the main, class A of My Hero. Of UA, excuse me, they fight back, and they know that they're truly the next group of heroes that's going to be taking over. They all sort of get separated at one point. Deku's got a team, Todoroki's got a team, and Bakugo's got a team. And this is where it was really cool because you got to see them all working in unique and diverse groups. And then at one point they all sort of come together and this is going to be the biggest spoiler I'm going to give you. Bakugo actually takes the leadership role, and it was fucking hilarious. And my daughter's 9 years old, and she's sitting there watching Bakugo with his awesome little explosion fist thing. She's like, "You bastard!" And she just starts cracking up laughing in the theater. So they definitely kept all the characters what I feel like to be true to themselves, and they didn't make it look like without Deku they wouldn't have won, or they didn't make it look like you could have replaced Bakugo or Todoroki or Tokoyami, because at one point the four of them have to team up to do some really cool stuff. And I will say one of the in my opinion, one of the most awesome perks in the show is definitely got to be Dark Shadow. And it was really nice to see Dark Shadow shine. Explosion fists are really awesome. Fire and Ice is really awesome. One for All, really awesome. But Dark Shadow, in my opinion, has got to be one of the most unique quirks out there because, the dude looks like a bird. Dark Shadow comes over him. He can wear Dark Shadow as a suit. He can fly with Dark Shadow. And I was very happy to see that, not every hero got their time to shine, but it was definitely because if you sat there and spent too much time on every single hero, the movie would have been 5 hours long. So they had to select a few heroes, and they gave every hero a chance to shine. Now, that's not to say that this wasn't a movie about Deku, because it was. He's the main character, so obviously he's going to have more screen time. But watching all the other heroes working together, and without those other heroes, Deku wouldn't have been as powerful as he was. So it was really good to see a show, or in this case a movie, where all the characters really came together in a positive way, but not like some cheesy, one of the reasons I never watched Naruto when I was younger is because everything was like, yeah, teamwork, woo, and it wasn't like that in this movie. They had to work together, but it wasn't, patting each other on the back. It was them all using their powers in unison. It looked like a group of trained fighters that actually fought together and did a really awesome job. The whole movie from start to finish was actually good. There wasn't really any boring parts. Having a small kid in a movie theater, I had to look at her a couple times, like, "Hey, do you need to use the bathroom?" She's like, "No, no, I don't want to miss anything." And now, generally, when I take my kid to the movies, we have to make 1 to 2 trips out of the theater to use the restroom. But in this case, she was glued to her seat, which honestly, that should go to tell you right there whether or not it's a decent movie. If it can keep a kid's attention the whole time straight to the end, it's got something going on with it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There were times, the movie theater wasn't packed. There was only, I want to say, 8 or 9 people in the theater. But there were just about everybody laughed at the same time. They got excited at the same time when you saw different things happening. And that's something that you don't see in a lot of movies, that I'm noticing that you really only see with anime people. The fans that go to see these movies are super passionate. And this movie was made for you, the fan. If you are a fan of My Hero Academia, you will like this movie. There's zero doubt in my mind. You're not going to walk out of there. There's a few times in some of the Dragon Ball movies, I'm like, it was okay. No, the My Hero Academia movie was fantastic. I have zero complaints about it. I loved the character work. They didn't have to do a whole bunch of character development because characters are already established. So they didn't go into some sordid backstories. There wasn't this whole long drawn out process. It was just, what the fuck's going on? Let's kick some ass. And they did. And it was a fantastic movie. The next one that is going to be coming out, I think it's next month, is Overlord. I'm definitely going to be going to see that one. I'm going to be doing a review on that as well. But I'm going to cut it here for now. I'm going to leave you with, if you haven't seen the My Hero movie, go to the theater and see it. Because the only way we're going to continue to get more movies like this is if we go to the theaters. So get off your ass. Go see the movie.